I've had Killer Instinct for 2 years now. How did it hold up? Was it worth the money I spent? All in all, my final thoughts on one of my first cabinets that I got from Arcade1up. Now I've done a couple of modifications to this Killer Instinct cabinet. The marquee is not the original, neither is the 19-inch BOE monitor you're looking at. But for the most part, the rest of it is. I did swap out a couple of decals, and I also lit up those coin doors. And with the lights still off, I do want to point out the light up control deck. Something that the KI Pro doesn't have. I wish it did. I do like that the 3/4 scale comes lit and you can change the colors. There is one thing though that I'll share with you at the end of the video that I wish they would have did with this cabinet. And you know what? It might have made it a perfect cab. But it is a cool feature, and something probably from the past, something we probably won't see a lot of, is the actual light up deck protector. More in the future, I'm sure we'll see more stuff like actual light up buttons instead. And I'm not going to knock the fact that Killer Instinct's marquee was washed out. There's a lot of Arcade1up marquees, such as NBA Jam, that aren't the best, and it gives us the option. You don't have to do it, but you do have that option if you want to change out the marquee. So I didn't really want to focus on that as far as the durability and what I thought of this cabinet 2 years later, along with the monitor. There's absolutely nothing wrong with the 17-inch BOE. I wanted to put a 19-inch because I didn't get the KI Pro. Wanted to make this look as close to an XL, a deluxe, as I possibly could. And I do want to mention that if you've been following the channel, I do have a G.I. Joe, there it is, inline riser to make this look like a true deluxe cabinet. Now I took it off, put it on the actual riser because for the purpose of this review, I wanted to just kind of go over, this is how it came. You got the riser, I lit up the coin doors. I didn't really do anything besides swap the decal right here with a Sabos J panel and add Nintendo decals from Sabos. And I think the three came together. I think it was, this and that were all part of the same. I want to say it was about $20 and then about $60 for the marquee. As far as the games list, there's absolutely the same between the KI 3/4 scale and the KI Pro. You get Killer Instinct, Killer Instinct 2, and Battletoads. And I'm going to stop right here for a second. I bought this cabinet, as crazy as this sounds, for Battletoads. I'm not a huge fighter. I don't really have a talent in fighting games, but I love my beat 'em ups, and I have had a blast over the last 2 years playing Battletoads on here. One of my favorite beat 'em up games. Only thing I wish, not saying that we could have 3 controls on here, like wouldn't really make much sense for Killer Instinct being the headline game, but Battletoads being a 3-player game, I wish somehow they could configure that online and actually have 2 other people playing with you. It would have been a lot more better. Other games Arcade1up has made, same kind of issue. I just wish that they would kind of patch that, kind of figure that out. And if a game does require 3 people, you could actually play 3 players, even with a 2-player control deck. And Killer Instinct does come with 2 bonus games, Battletoads 8-bit and Battletoads 16-bit. You could argue that it's the Nintendo and the Super Nintendo ROMs on this. Didn't get into this a lot, but it is nice that they put it on here. Kind of probably a selling point similar to if you've seen the Golden Tee, XL, Midway at Costco, throwing all those Midway games on there, whether they fit, the scheme on here or not. You just see 5 games on here. It could entice somebody to pick this up. But again, Battletoads, whole reason I bought it. Now I do want to add that being an online cabinet, having this through Wi-Fi, I have not had any issues playing Battletoads on here. One of my favorite online hookups is playing on this Killer Instinct cabinet. All of my Arcade1ups do play a little bit differently online. Never run into like lag. It's worked perfect. I've been blown away with the actual online for Battletoads. Great way to play the game, and it's always so much fun to play with a second player you know, when they build these cabinets, they're not making them wide enough to get another person next to you. So having that feature where you can get 2 people on here to play is a huge bonus for me. Killer Instinct being the headline game on here, I haven't heard anyone ever say, you know, KI doesn't play good on this machine. It, you know, I've run into issues on here. Lobbies are usually full. You do have the spectate mode on here. From everyone that I've heard that has this cabinet, they absolutely love it. And when it comes to my fighting skills on here, there's nothing to really talk about, but when it comes to beat 'em ups, oh yeah, that's my game. And as a recording of this video, you can see that there are people in the lobby. And, you know, if there were more, it'd be cool because we could jump in and actually do the spectate, you know, to watch another match going on, similar to Mortal Kombat 2 has that now, along with any Capcom fighting cabinet. So a great feature that they did with having online, kind of matching up some of your opponents. I didn't really get into that. I just thought it was fun just to watch other people fight. And if you're into modding, you know, looking at the 6-player button, this would probably be a perfect cabinet, having all of those options, pretty much play any type of game with it. When I assembled this cabinet, I was so surprised with how tight the joysticks were. I know standards, like, there's better joysticks out there, but when Arcade1up went to this route, after 2 years of playing Battletoads pretty heavy, they're tight. I mean, absolutely nothing to complain with how tight these sticks are. Just comparing it with an earlier joystick type, the NBA Jam Countercade, if you can just hear that clickiness, it's not like Killer Instinct. It's not like newer cabinets that I got, the Mortal Kombat 2 Deluxe, the Street Fighter 2 Deluxe, the Shinku Hadouken, the Yoga Flame, all have tighter sticks than these earlier cabinets we got. You still get those mushy buttons. There's no denying that. It's the same button that we've always gotten from Arcade1up, besides a lit up button. They are a little bit different feel, and the buttons on the KI Pro are a step up. I heard that the sticks were a step up too, and then I've also heard that not so much, you know, the best step up. I have nothing to complain about with these other than, you know, the bat top's kind of loosening up on you when you play, but, you know, that's just a custom. When you have an Arcade1up, you kind of get used to that. As far as modding your buttons or changing out the sticks, it's something that's roughly pretty cheap. I've never changed out any of mine before because I've just kind of kept everything as far as the controls to stock. But the look of it, I'll change out the monitor, I'll change out the marquee, and I'll light up the coin doors just to give me more of that arcade feel. And I thought by doing all this with this cabinet, it would kind of fill in for the fact of not having the KI Pro, and it helped. It helped putting the bigger monitor in. It helped changing out that marquee, and it helped lighting up the coin doors. But there's still one thing that I'm just a little unhappy about with this cabinet, and that's the control deck. It's not the slant. It's just, as far as the height wise, you're 38 inches high. You're close to 40 inches off of the ground. It's a perfect height if you have a bad back, if you don't want to be hunched over, if you're kind of taller. But as far as not having that slant, it wasn't too much, you know, after this came out that we got the deluxe cabinets. We got Marvel vs. Capcom 2, we got Shinku Hadouken, Yoga Flame, where it had the slanted control deck. This is the only cabinet with this style, and I think the biggest drawback for me after everything that I did is not having a slanted deck on here. Like, even though it lights up to this day, I think that's what bothers me the most. And I just wish that they would have kind of did something differently with this cabinet. It's unfortunate, and I think that's probably why they gave us the KI Pro and the 3/4 scale at the very same time. Because if you wanted that slanted deck, you had to get the Pro. If we would have got this instead of the flat surface, it would have been a different cabinet. This would have came out a little bit more. It just would have felt more like a real arcade. And, You know, there's still a part of me that wants the KI Pro. And I think it all comes down to not having this certain control deck. The riser doesn't bother me. And again, there's modders out there, there's third party like G.I. Joel, Buy Stuff Arcades, that you can buy things for your arcades. And if you want the deluxe look, if you want something that looks like it's one piece, definitely go with the inline riser. But as far as for a cat to jump up here, it makes good for a cat stand. Loki just loves, let's try to look away on that one, but Loki just loves jumping up on here. It's perfect for cats. I think at a selling point, picking this up for $4.99 or less, it's worth the money. At $5.99, I think it actually came out at $6.99. Very steep, even at $5.99. But having paid $4.99 for this, even with the improvements I did, with the marquee, the decals, spending just a couple of bucks on plate up coin doors, the reason I went with the inline riser booster is just to give it that XL deluxe look. After everything that I did to this cabinet, if I could go back in time, knowing what I know now, I'd probably get the Pro. I'd just spend the money after everything that I put in this. But, you know, you try to get the deal, you try something different to save a buck. But at the end of the day, it all came down to this. It came down to that control deck. You know, we can take away that. And I think that's the biggest drawback for me that I kind of hinted at in the beginning of the video of I'll save it for the end. It's the control deck. As high and comfortable it is, happy with the sticks, just not happy that it doesn't have that slant. I'm like, you know, you go back in time, like you're kind of getting this all over again. And I mean, that's not what we want. We want the slanted control deck. So that's kind of my take on the Killer Instinct cab. I think as far as, you know, collecting Arcade1ups early on for me, I wasn't interested in this. I don't have a lot of nostalgia for Killer Instinct, but I do for Battletoads. And when the price came down to $4.99, I just decided, let's get it. You know, let's try it. Did a review on it, played a lot of online with it, put a lot of money into this. And at the end of the day, I think KI Pro is the way to go. Well, leave me a comment if you think that, you know, if the price came down to a certain point, you jump on this, or you're holding out for something like, you know, the XL, the actual KI Pro, because I think that's what I would have done if I would have waited this long and I still wouldn't have picked it up and I missed out on that incredible $149.99 deal. Yeah, I think I would have got the Pro. I want to thank everybody for watching. We'll see you guys next time. If you're a huge beat 'em up fan, it doesn't get much better than Battletoads. It's always kind of my Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle reminder. Really fun game. You know, it's nice on Turtles where we could play 4 players. If they just would have did, you know, a 3-player option, like having online 3 players, that'd be incredible. It'd be a lot of fun, and I'd probably play a lot more. It's tough, you know, the more people you want to get on a game. You want to play, you know, an NBA Jam with 4 people. You want to play a Turtles with 4 people. X-Men with 4. Also Battletoads. You know, there's 3 characters. We should be able to play them all 3. If you made it this long, I want to thank you for watching the bonus scene. And this extra bonus scene I wanted to save. I wasn't going to announce this on the title or in the description. Just wanted to say a couple of things going into the next week. We just posted the walk and talk. Today, as a recording of this, is Monday, August 5th, 2024. We reached 4,000 subs. My friend Steve sent me a couple Mary Batsons from the Shazam family. And our first giveaway, I didn't want to wait till next week. I'm going to put this on Instagram. We are going to give away Mary Batson from DC. And if you don't win Mary, there's going to be more giveaways. I don't know how many we're going to do. You know, 8 weeks, 9 weeks. There's going to be a giveaway every week. And I didn't want to wait. We're going to start off with Mary Batson. Also, we do have a surprise review coming. I did pick up something the other day. And I look forward to this. I didn't plan on getting this. Things happen when we're out there. There's FOMO that builds up, and sometimes I'm pretty good, but lately I've been buying a ton of stuff, and you know, I bought that. And our last our last mod, that's going to be a review for X-Men. I just got this today, so I'm looking forward to doing this. Not sure what we're going to do next, but that's why I wanted to announce Mary Batson giveaway, because I don't know what the next video, if we're going to do X-Men, if we're going to do the mystery review. Of course, it won't be such a mystery when you see the thumbnail, but a couple of other things coming to the channel. I wanted to save this to the end of the Killer Instinct review because there's something missing behind me, and there's big news coming. So stick around for that. Just thought I'd leave you with this cliffhanger. I want to thank you for watching. We'll see you tomorrow.